Welcome back to another episode of Unmasked with David and myself, Marissa. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you?
So good, as always. Very nice to see you. How are you doing?
Good, enjoying the amazing weather. I'm really happy.
And lockdown number 83 for those of us in Toronto.
Yeah, I heard Canada got number one in lockdowns in the world. So we
Yeah,
are very fortunate.
yeah, world leaders. We really like to set the tone for everyone else.
Uh,
So today, episode 13, we are going to be discussing manifestation. And this was a topic that I was really excited for. And I made all these notes. Oh, I'm going to have all these great things to say. And then you and I started preparing. And I realized I don't know what manifestation is. So I was thinking we were going to give all these great tips and tools for everybody watching on how they could identify what their goals and their passions and their dreams were, and then how to manifest them. And you kind of dropped the mic on me, and you shared with me that manifestation is actually the lowest level of emanation. And I paused for a moment. I realized what you meant, but it really took me back. So, David, would you mind explaining to everybody watching this that might be scratching their heads as well, why it's not actually manifestation that we want to be focusing on?
It's not that we don't want to focus as manifestation. We all goal oriented, especially the motivated people. I just need to know and just to make an order and to make a really balance what is really important and what is less important. But it's definitely a period of manifestation. It's a definitely period when we are actually pushing ourselves, not necessarily cutting the fruits, but it's like a huge time of desire right now in the cosmos. But the question is again, where desire coming from? We
Mm.
think we desire something. We want to manifest a relationship, a marriage. Yeah, we want to achieve total financial freedom, and or we want to get into a new project, and we have a passion and we have a vision about it. But where is it coming from? Are we the one to really desire it? So the Kabbalah is here kind of giving us the twist of telling us that the true memory that our soul have, it's called in the Kabbalistic term, it's called Reshimo. And that Reshimo is just a residue of the endless energy and light that took place in creation, which we are part of that creation as the vessel, as the soul. But every desire that we have, it's related to that residue of manifestation that took place, that we experience in the time of creation. It means that whatever we desire right now, it's not that we desire it. It's actually the cosmos, is the light force, desire it for us. Can you believe it?
It's it's a really big concept to wrap your mind around.
Yeah,
I believe
absolutely.
it. I trust you.
Yeah, I mean, because I think I want. It feels that it's my own desire, but what pushing me to want, it's memory that I had this thing before. It means that I experienced this type of fulfillment much before end of time, and that's the reason I'm really connecting that desire.
I think that's truly powerful. So if we had it before, we can have it again. And I think that's why maybe after having a taste of it, our soul can't really let go of that desire, because we know what's possible. We know what it means to have unconditional love, to have true fulfillment, to have peace and clarity, all those things that I think we all deeply search for in this lifetime.
Yeah, it's our birthright. It means that we meant to have it, but with the interference of ego and personal agenda, it can be twisted and directed into negative places that are going to cause us eventually chaos. That's the problem with it. This is the reason we need to be attentive and open-minded and not so fixated on a specific manifestation. Because why manifestation? It's a lower level of energy, as our teacher, the Rav Berg explained, and his teacher, the Rav Ashlag explained in 10 Luminous Emanation, that because it's energy that is already narrowed down and been contracted to something which is limited. This is the reason we need to be very careful, because if we are fixing on something that related to a tiny desire that we have, and we are just focusing on that, we might be blocking the true desire that is inside. So therefore, we have to analyze what is the true desire. Is it the specific money, or is it really the freedom, or is it something that is more contracted, and I want the acknowledgement, or I want the power, or I want the control, and all those small things that related to that desire. Why do I want those things to happen?
Yeah, and it's funny because I was preparing to speak about that very subject before we got into the conversation of if manifestation is the lower or the higher goal, let's say. But I think what I wanted to share initially is that people are sometimes confused on what they really want, or they have conflicting goals, or maybe their goals are so small and close to them because they don't believe that they have the capability of achieving something greater. So I'm glad that we actually got back there again, because for me personally, when I think about what I truly want, I always have to stop and ask myself why. Like what people say now, that catchphrase, what's your why? But it's understanding your intention. And it's just like you said, do I want that achievement or that accomplishment because it matters to me, or because I need other people to see me do that and therefore give me recognition and feed some type of lack that I may be experiencing, a sense of unworthiness or smallness. So I think it's really important that we check our intentions and our true desires, as you said.
So as we said, this memory, this reshimo, is always in the back of our head, is pushing us, say, yeah, get this, get this, get this, get this. But also there are also conflicting desires that came to us with our past experiences, and coming as blockages from past lifetime. And we are feeding them also, and we believing that those are more truthful than the reshimo that pushing us really to be our best. And we need to realize what are those conflicting desires that are actually draining our energy in focusing on the real goals.
So can you suggest any tools for people that maybe they think they know what their goals are, but now they're watching this and they're like, I'm not so sure that I really know what my true goals and desires are. Do you have any ways that people might be able to start to investigate and dig deeper and understand their goals?
First is removing this fantasy and focusing on enjoying the being in the present, focusing really enjoying the process. So if process leads to manifestation, and as we said, whatever precedes one is actually it's is the cause of it, isn't it? Cause,
Mhm.
it's higher than the effect.
I mean, I believe that it is.
Yeah, everyone, it's simple. The cause, it's always the light
Mhm.
of the vessel, which is the manifestation. It means that the process of what we're going through and where is our mind uh, while we're doing so, it's so much more important in the long-term effect of that specific manifestation.
So, what can we tell somebody? Like, I think one thing that we hear a lot lately, especially in our spiritual community, is I want to meet my soulmate. How can I meet my soulmate? So, if somebody wanted to focus on manifesting real love in their life, what's the best way to go about trying to do that?
So what would be higher? Be the best soulmate first, isn't it? Be the
Yes.
soulmate that deserve the soulmate that you want. So it's a lot of personal work to begin with, and enjoy that process. And if you be obsessed or feeling like the lack of is not coming and so on and so on, of course, you're going to miss the point, and it's going to drain your energy constantly.
Yeah, that really resonates with me actually, because about a year ago, I started focusing on saying that I was going to manifest my soulmate. And in the process, I did a lot of personal work. And it's funny because the people that have been coming into my life, and I don't mean just romantically, friendships as well, people that have been coming into my life lately seem to be vibrating at a much higher level because I raised my vibration. So I really resonate with what you just said. And it's unfortunately not an easy fix. And when people feel lonely and they just want to find someone, it seems almost impossible to say, well, fix yourself and then the person will just find you. But I think that's actually really how it works.
Simple as that. Same goes with business, So we get easy mixed up between the why we're doing the business to what the income that's going to come, what's going to be the manifestation on that, and we get confused, and sometimes we can forget easily the reason of the why we started this business to begin with this amazing vision and a mission to help others and to add value and to solve problems. It's like it's not something that it's natural for us, because in our nature we want the reward before the process. And so we have to fight it constantly, bring ourselves back to the drawing board of the why we want things. And the why we want things, it's what because we want to receive the endless light that exists out there. So need to be careful with looking always towards the rewards of things.
Because the process is actually the reward.
Yeah, it's preceded, it's higher in energy. Because imagine yourself, you receive something and it's great. You enjoy it for a second and then say, okay, so what's next? No?
Exactly. It's always next.
It's always like, okay, I got to this finish line. All right, so I can sit there and, tap on my shoulder and say, wow, it's so great. But how long can you do that?
It's a good point.
Yeah. Whatever we have this big desire, it's probably from the light. It means that that's the memory. We already earned it and it's ours, and we just need to not interfere in receiving it back.
I love that. So we just need to focus on being stronger, better, more loving versions of ourselves, and naturally good things will just be attracted to us.
Yeah, and it's okay to put some goals on that path. But again, not to be obsessed by those goals if they're not coming true.
And also, that reminds me of something I was going to say earlier, just having patience. Timing is everything, and if the universe wants to give us everything, then we will receive it. But are we ready? Can we handle what we're asking for? And sometimes, going through the process, strengthening ourselves, becoming more resilient in who we are, that waiting, that patience is what's going to draw even more blessings to us.
Everything that we want is belong to our birthright, and the cosmos wants to give it us more than we actually willing to actually not interfere in that process.
We just need to get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Let the universe bless you.